Okay, again, good morning. My name's Lieutenant Colonel Gary Alexander. I'm the detachment commander at Detachment 605 here at North Carolina A&T University. And on this 15th of May, 2020, it's a great and accomplishing time for many people. David Vermillion being one of them, as he gets commissioned into the United States Air Force after, I'd say, suffering through the last few months due to COVID-19. But we're not going to let any of that slow us down today. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of admin things because I want everybody to be aware of exactly what's going to happen. Obviously, COVID-19 has prevented us all from coming together in person, but what it hasn't done is prevented us from conducting this commissioning ceremony for David and for all of you. I'd like to think that actually doing this virtual commission probably provides more opportunity for people to be a part of this because then they don't have to worry about traveling, finding the hotels, finding somebody to take care of the dog for people like me. Anyways, it allows us all to come together. What it also does is it puts a lot of opportunity for feedback and people to be talking while the actual formal portion of the ceremony is going on. So here in a minute, I'm going to mute everybody as the host of this Zoom meeting. I'm going to put everybody on mute, and then when we get to the actual oath, I will unmute soon-to-be Lieutenant Vermillion, as well as Captain Retired Amy Schneider, and we will only be able to hear them. And then as we continue to work through this, we will unmute certain people. At the very end, I will unmute everybody, and I promise you, you will all be able to pass along your congratulations at that time. But again, as we work through the formal portion, just know that you won't be able to say good job or do anything at that point. I'm sure many of you have used Zoom in this time. You will see some reaction buttons that are down there. You will see the chat that is down there. Highly encourage you guys to use those buttons and type anything in during the actual formal portion if you would like. Again, you just won't be able to actually talk for that. As I reference my notes here. Okay, we also have a moderator for today. Our moderator is going to be Master Sergeant Tony Thomas. You might see him in the uniform there. He is going to be kind of making sure that we stick to the script as we go along. All right, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place everybody on mute. Give me a few seconds so that I can unclick Master Sergeant Thomas, Captain Retired Amy Schneider, as well as soon-to-be Lieutenant David Vermillion. Thank you. And welcome everybody. Over here.
Huh? Oh, you want us over there?
I just want you to be able to see.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Almost there, I promise. All right, Master Sergeant Thomas, to you.
Good morning. Welcome, everyone, friends and family. Thank you for joining us for today's events for the commissioning of soon-to-be Second Lieutenant David Vermillion. My name is Master Sergeant Tony Thomas. I'll be your moderator for today's events. Lieutenant Colonel Alexander has already given his opening remarks. Now we will pass on to Captain Garrison, who will read a little bit about the oath of commissioning.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry for technical difficulties for a second. Congratulations, soon to be Lieutenant Vermillion, but here let's talk about the oath. All airmen take an oath upon entry into the service. Officers take the oath of office upon commissioning and restate that oath with each promotion. Military oaths have been around since ancient Roman times. Many pledged loyalty to a specific general officer or a specific campaign. Oaths have existed in the U.S. since early colonial days and continue today. Our oaths are more than a formality that adds flair to a commissioning or promotion ceremony. They provide the foundation of our military. You become an officer in the armed forces of the United States by accepting a commission and swearing the oath of support required by Article 6 for the U.S. Constitution. The commission and the oath constitute an individual moral commitment and common ethical instruction. They legitimize the officer's trade and provide the basis of the shared ethic of commissioned leadership that binds the American military into an effective and loyal fighting force. They are the foundation of the trust safely placed in the armed forces by the American people. The commission and oath unite all armed forces officers in a common undertaking of service to the nation. The armed forces of the United States depend for their success and indeed for their existence on a web of trust beginning with that between them and the American people and their government. In return for their investment, the American people expect reliable, effective, honorable, and efficient performance. They demand military leaders who demonstrate high standards of character and competence and who conduct themselves in a manner that reflects basic principles of integrity, justice, and fairness toward all subordinates.
Thank you, Captain Garretson. Now administering the oath, Captain Retired Amy Snyder. Captain Snyder, over to you.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I have a couple of words before I administer this oath to David. This is a very big deal, and this is one of the days that you will look back at and remember. I can tell you, I don't remember much about my high school graduation, don't remember much about my college graduation. What I do remember is the commissioning part and getting commissioned, and every time you get promoted, you get to repeat this oath and go forward. We are all very proud of you. You're part of a long family history coming into the military. It goes back to the Revolution, as I'm sure you know, with many, on both sides of your family. We've got, the most recent Vermillions that you're probably familiar with, that you recall your great-grandfather, your grandfather, and myself all having served in the Army. But I'm really glad you heeded my advice to go into the Air Force, and I think that you'll enjoy your time in the Space Force, as I know that you will be getting there very soon. This is not just a career that you're taking on, David. This is an agreement to defend the United States, and you can't expect to be in harm's way during this commitment. This is different than what your peers at school may be doing, where they're graduating and going into different career fields. This is something where you're taking on a commitment to defend the United States, and that's a huge deal. And once you take this oath, you're accepting that responsibility to step out and put yourself in places where you may not want to be. But it's important that we have people like you that do this, and we are so proud of you that you've done all the training to get to this point, and that you have agreed for this to accept this large responsibility. This is going to be a time for adventure and growth in your life, David. You're going to be trying new places, new job opportunities, new positions of responsibility. And through all that, not only will you be developing your professional skills, but you'll also be developing your personal interests and skills as well. So although you are graduating and commissioning, do not think that it stops here. You are going to be going forward. You're going to be learning. You're going to be growing. And this is a very exciting time in your life. While you are making those plans, just remember, once you take this oath, you are not your own. You are going to belong to Uncle Sam at this point, and you're going to have plans, and the nation's plans are going to come first. The nation's needs will come first. I can't tell you how many times in my career I had a plan. It was a good plan. I liked my plan, and then my plan didn't happen because there are bigger plans than my plans. There are going to be bigger plans than your plans. Another neat thing, military is a huge family. All these people that have gathered here today are your natural family, military family. Your family is just going to keep on getting bigger as you go, David. Your natural family will always be here for you, but you have a new special family. And in the military, you'll find that there are people that really will understand you and relate to you as you go through your career and as you go through your life. You're going to have a very special bond with the other people that you work with and that you support as you go throughout your career. Now, you've gained a lot of skills and knowledge that have brought you to this point. You have worked really hard at your education. You've worked really hard at your military training. And yet there's still a lot for you to learn, as I think I alluded to earlier. You're going to have an opportunity to work with some people that have a lot more experience than you as you go forward. I can't emphasize how important non-commissioned officers are going to be to your career, David. As you go through, remember that while you may have a college degree, you may have the expertise in some areas, these officers are going to be the people they're going to rely on, that you're going to go to, that you're going to seek for their practical life knowledge. There's other officers, of course, ahead of you that you will also seek their guidance and knowledge. But just remember that you are being respected when the non-commissioned officers salute you, but you earn their respect by working closely with them and being a great example of somebody who looks to all available resources and all available people to help them get where you're going. So, David, you can do this, and you can do this really well. The U.S. Space Force, today it's the Air Force, but I know Space Force is coming for you, is getting an outstanding individual as a new officer today. This is a day that you're going to begin the next chapter of your life as a second lieutenant in the U.S. Air Force, as we know, soon to be Space Force for you. Are you ready to take your oath of office and accept this binding agreement that you're entering into? Excellent. All right. Right hand. I state your name.
I, David Mark Vermillion,
Having been appointed a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force,
having been appointed a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force,
do solemnly affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
of the office upon which I am about to enter. So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Second Lieutenant Vermillion.
All right, congratulations. Now, Second Lieutenant Vermillion, do you have someone pinning on your ranks for you? All right, if you would introduce them to the group, please. All right, welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant David Vermillion. Okay, next we will go into the first salute. The first salute is a longstanding tradition to honor the enlisted service member who has had the most impact on the newly commissioned officer. The new lieutenants choose an enlisted instructor they were particularly impressed with, or ask a family member or mentor who has served for this honor. This is the first time a new officer has to return the salute to an enlisted member. Today, presenting the first salute for Second Lieutenant Vermillion is Chief Master Sergeant Michael Willis.
Thank you. Real quick, I met a Cadet Vermillion, Cap Cadet Vermillion,
6 or 7 years ago, and he was laser focused on being an Air Force officer at that time. And nothing wavered from that focus, including my cuckoo clock that's going off right now. And I'm just so proud of this young man. I'm very honored that he asked me to do this. And without further ado, when he asked me to do this, he kept calling me sir. And I said, we need to change roles, buddies. I'm no longer the sir, you are. And with that, sir, welcome to the United States Air Force and Space Force. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Oh, thank you, Chief. Sorry.
Vermillion, floor is yours for comments.
All right. Thank you, Master Sergeant Thomas. So another part of the first salute tradition is the presentation of a silver dollar, silver coin Since we're geographically separated, I can't give it today, but I have it, and I will be sending it in the mail. I chose 2020 because it's a very memorable year, the year of my commission, and of course, everything that's happened with COVID-19 and the Space Force standing up, all sorts of stuff, so it's an outstanding year. I also wanted to take this time to thank all of the people who made this moment possible, starting with the cadre. Thank you so much for everything you've done in training me to be a officer in first the United States Air Force and then the United States Space Force. Thank you again. Thank you to the fellow cadets as I was going through the program. Learning how to lead, that is a team effort. It would not have been possible without you. Thank you for that. The instructors that I've had, the professors, thank you so much for the last 4 years of classes that I've had with you guys. It's been amazing. The classmates that I've had during those 4 years, learning physics is definitely challenging. Being able to share the triumphs and the struggles with you guys, that was something I really enjoyed. Thank you. Friends and family, thank you as well. Sometimes you knew what I was going through, sometimes you didn't, but just knowing you were there, I'm very grateful for that. The administrative support staff as well, thank you. There's all sorts of stuff that goes into being able to move forward within ROTC and within an institution of higher learning, and that would not have been possible without you guys, so thank you. And then also, I wanted to thank Shayla Simons for the last 2 years. Would you like to come up here as well? So we met about 2 years ago, and it's been an outstanding 2 years since then. From shortly after we met when I was at field training, and you sent me a letter where you said you thought you kind of liked me, which had me over the moon for the next few days there. Through that summer when we were separated while I was in Arizona, then the next semester when we were able to, when you were able to help me move in, the successes that you've had with Campus Movie Festival, being able to share those with you. The next summer where we were separated this time by the entirety of the Atlantic Ocean, connected only by Google Duo. That was also awesome. And then, of course, also when you were the very first person that I informed I had been picked up for space operations. That was pretty cool. And through all of that, you have harpooned my heart and brought it to anchor for an amazing 2 years. And I look forward to the next long bid as well. So with that in mind, Shayla Simons, will you marry me?
Yes. I will. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes, I will. Thank you.
I'm on turn. Good thing you called in.
Congratulations, Vermillion.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So special. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tommy was like,
Yes, right?
Tommy, like I knew this. And he almost dropped the ball. Yes.
All right, David and Shayla, congratulations. I'm going to go ahead and make this quick because I want everybody to be able to pass along their congratulations to you guys. Congratulations, David. Hard journey, especially the final 3 to 4 months. Very proud of you joining the Air Force as well as joining the United States Space Force here shortly. So that all being said, I want to make sure that you guys start off on the right foot. Obviously, you've got a big announcement and everything that you just conducted right there. Chief Willis, thank you for being a part of this. Captain Retired Amy Schneider, thank you for being a part of this as well. And this room will now be available for the next 20 minutes for you guys to congratulate David and his soon-to-be bride. Congratulations.
Lieutenant Vermillion, sir, I just want to say congratulations. I got to go back to work. The Pentagon's calling, but hopefully we'll meet up down the road somewhere, and I can give you that salute in person.
All right,
And
thank you.
congratulations on the upcoming nuptials, and I hope to get an invitation to that wedding. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
So we can be close.
Yeah, I need to, my legs are shaking.